Ladies and gentlemen,
Hola, como te amo?
it's spoiler alert with John and Rod.
How you doing?
Hey. Today is October 4th, 2015.
Yeah,
It's
here we
Sunday.
are.
It's unseasonably cold for Indiana at this
That's
time of
about right.
month.
That's about right, I'd say.
Dude, it went from sunny and 70s to all of a sudden it's just cold.
That's how they do it normally. It's not so gradual as you think. It's not like they have a dissolve switch where they gradually pull it down.
You mean God doesn't pull the switch down
No, he
gradually?
doesn't. It's abrupt. He's a very scornful.
Do you think God has like a side person that says, "Hey, can you control the weather for me? I got
I
a
think
lot
God
going
is
on."
currently working in analog and is making the switch over to digital. So there's
You
a
mean
lot of
his
issues.
thermostat is going to be digital from now on?
Yes.
What does that look like?
He's going to give more accurate information of weathermen.
Does he have to go to like Mount Versailles to reach the thermostat?
Mount Vesuvius.
Mount Vesuvius, yeah. He's like, let's heat this baby up. Let me
Okay.
stick my hand right in the center of the earth and fire this baby up.
He's like, why are you angels complaining about that? I don't see why it's any concern of yours. You guys have those built-in temperature gauges.
Oh, yes. Do you know that? Oh, yeah, we forgot the intro to the show.
What intro is this,
Oh, my. Oh, my.
He's on fire!
guys?
He's on fire!
Handsomeness.
And there's the intro to the show, ladies and gentlemen. If we could do it over again, I would have. I forgot the intro
Oh,
drops.
wow. Who gives it?
Who's listening?
How many people do you send this to via email?
About. Well, I mean, do you send it anywhere?
No, I don't. Because I don't know how that whole Dropbox is it? that you
Yeah.
send it via?
Yeah, all you have to do is send them the email I send you because it's
Okay.
just a link to the Dropbox.
So all I would have to do then is
it's
just
forward it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, I mean, doesn't that make sense?
It does, but I didn't, because it was a service that you signed up through, I didn't realize that.
It's the only way I could get you the pod show. I mean, I don't know how I.
Too big, yeah,
Right.
attachment.
Right. I'm meaning to ask you, do you like the summer? You said you don't like the summer, you like the
No.
cooler months.
Yes.
So you like to be in a coat and a hat.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Do you
But
like,
I like to swim in the summer.
dude, swimming is the best ever, man.
It is the best.
It's unbelievable. I mean, what are you doing in that circular pool? I mean, what kind
I'll
of...
tell you exactly what I'm doing if I haven't told you already. I pretend that my legs are paralyzed.
Oh, yeah, you're doing all upper body.
Yeah, so
because
I'm
you
just-
get a lot of bike work.
Totally. So I pretend like, I just got in a debilitating car crash and I can't move my legs and I'm just swimming around with my arms.
Ladies, Rod is single out there.
I am. You can join me in the pool and pretend we're car crash victims.
Ladies, you know what they say about Rod?
One man, one way.
That's just Don LaFontaine. The late, great Don LaFontaine.
You know what else? I also heard ladies calling you this.
Mr. Funtime.
Are you known as Mr. Funtime to the
I'm
ladies?
known as Mr. Sulu.
Wait, did you say Mr. Sulu?
Oh
Yeah.
my. Oh my.
Mr. Sulu making a special appearance.
Oh my.
We're going to San Francisco for the voyage home of the Starship Enterprise.
Dude, you know what's weird about Star Trek is I always watched it, except I stopped watching it when I thought Mr. Sulu, I heard him say to Captain Kirk, like, "I'll be in your quarters after hours, Captain, with a highball. What do you say, pal? I'll be in my Star Wars room. Star Trek
I remember
room."
back in the day, I think it was the early 90s on Greenwood Avenue. It was Halloween. There was a knock on the door. It was John Glucker, and he had one of those Star Trek Next Generation visors.
The visor.
He was going as LeVar Burton, as Jodie LaForge.
Of course I was. Ladies and gentlemen, guess who we have in the studio today? A very special guest. You may know him by this name.
Time to meet the sensei of sales.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rod Eckrich.
It's me. Ooh.
Yes, ladies, he is here. And, they may know him as 007 in some countries. But, I wanted this song to be the intro, Rod. It's a little heavier. Here it is. It's a little heavier.
No, I think we're going to keep battling about these intros.
Yeah, these intros. But, it was strange that you requested this title.
I think you've got your information mixed up.
How's my information mixed up?
Because I definitely did not request this in any capacity. Was this the Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling All-Stars?
Yes, it is. No,
Real
actually,
American Hero?
You know what? I was on holiday with the wife at the honeymoon, and we heard this song in the background, and I was like, "Wow, this kind of jams for the '80s," you know?
And then your wife is like, "Where are those divorce papers? I want out of this immediately."
Yeah, she goes, "If he doesn't listen solely to heavy metal, I am out of here."
He's like, John, I thought you said you listened to Darius Rucker. What is this business?
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have some crowd commentary about how people have been receiving the podcast. Would you like to hear some, Rod?
I think it has a resounding thud.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Rod, yeah, his statements are confusing.
That's true. I've heard
Wow,
that
he's
before.
one of a kind. Really didn't like what he said last week.
That's true.
And why not?
I just didn't like the way he said it. That's all.
Yeah, Rod's my favorite podcaster ever.
Okay, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard it from the crowd.
Well, I think we're divided 50-50. You either go with me or you run away. I don't know what to tell you.
You want to hear that one more time?
No.
Okay, all right. Interesting.
Who are those people? Are those people on the streets?
Those are people that have listened to the podcast. I just stopped by, just any random, block, and just asked away.
Okay, I gotta ask, what is this song that we're...
Night tonight.
Who is this crap? 'Cause
This is Baltimora.
really?
Yeah, maybe they're from the U.S. They're probably foreigners,
it's
Australians.
Because this is definitely a song that I heard growing up and I never liked and always wondered who sang this so I could stay away from it. Now I know
So
it's
you can stay away
Baltimora.
from the band. Now I have to stay away from Maryland.
Yeah.
Gotta completely avoid Maryland.
Through Maryland, it's a good time.
Did you have any jobs in Maryland?
No.
What was as close as you got? Massachusetts or something?
No. I was going to Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
So, Maryland was just simply a gas station stop.
Yeah. Was it unseasonably warm, up there? Because I think it does get a little toasty.
It was all right. It wasn't too bad.
Okay, all right. But this was the summer, right?
Yeah, it was July or August, and Virginia wasn't even that warm then, but neither was Maryland.
Gotcha. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey.
hey. Rod also wanted to request this number. This one I thought was unusually odd. Mr. Blobby.
Yet again, I don't know what I'm requesting here.
Yeah, but so it was interesting. I did a little best of screening yesterday, and I wanted to ask you about the movie you went to go see with.
The Green Inferno?
Yes. Could you please tell us about that?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. It was pretty gruesome and brutal. I don't know what people are expecting from a movie about cannibals, but should I repeat that? Or
No,
did you
no,
give me-
it's
Did
good.
you give me the first? Hey, podcasters, what do you feel about that? If you don't enjoy Eli Roth movies, you're probably not going to like it. But for me personally, there was a few squeamish moments where it was effective. I enjoyed it. Adam said that he liked it.
Okay, can you give us kind of the highlights
spoiler alert?
without spoiling it? Can you? Give
I
us
honestly don't think I could because one of the first cannibal deaths is one of the most likable characters, and
Okay, so they really highlight this person. They're kind of like they're running as the lead of the movie.
no, not quite the lead, but he's definitely supporting and has that screen time where he's he's the fat guy who's not going to get the girl, and he's really not going to get the girl.
I see. So you kind of warm up to him heart-wise.
Yeah, because you could tell his intentions, and it's just not going to work out. And just his demise is just so unpleasant. And I was sitting there in my seat,
You were like eating your popcorn as you watch this guy get.
No,
eaten.
I am so cheap when I go to the movies that there is no popcorn involved, unless I bring a bag.
You
of
better
popcorn.
bring a bag. Come on, dude. I'm addicted to popcorn.
Are you really?
Dude, almost every week I eat popcorn for
Or,
sure.
do you know what I like, John? Is
Yes.
the Jiffy Pop when you do it on the stove.
You mean like in the movie Scream when she lets it burn?
Yeah, but she just lets it burn unattained. I'm doing the shake. I'm standing for like 5 minutes shaking the thing.
Gotcha. So, dude, can you tell us a little bit more about the movie?
Oh, what would you like? Thank you. Yeah, it ended weirdly.
Okay, then like not the ending you'd expect.
It was kind of a betrayal of the character where she.
What were you saying? She
Oh,
could
you
say
know,
she could
she
say
could say a lot of things, but she doesn't.
she could say one thing and then say another.
Yeah. She could put the crimes against the tribe and instead doesn't.
Oh, is she afraid they're gonna come after her?
I don't think so. So she's either just straight up lying or she's one of those Stockholm victims that sympathizes with her captors.
So basically, like the FBI comes and they said, "Hey, what happened here?" And she just silent.
Well, her father was a lawyer for the UN. So if there was any discrepancy whatsoever, surely the UN could get involved and, like, screw the country up.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, this song, Mr. Blobby, like, Mr. Blobby's around. I saw,
Yeah, they're playing the roller rink, ladies and gentlemen.
yes.
Who's Mr. Blobby? I mean, really, who?
But what I was gonna get to was that I saw the best of scenes, and I somehow Creepshow made it to my.
It's one of my favorites.
I watched it, and a lot of good drops in there.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but I do have one for the one that I have for our big Razzle Dazzle Halloween show is the "I could hold my breath for a long time" that cuts into that song, where it's like doom 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 for,
okay.
for something that tied you over.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty good. Oh,
Yeah.
like a bumper kind of thing, but it's actually the Creepshow theme.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
the theme from that episode or that installment.
Gotcha. Dude, what'd you do for breakfast today?
Nothing.
You know what? I do have audio of you eating. If that's the ladies and gentlemen, I didn't actually have to play this drop. But Rod,
I did it myself. I performed it live.
Listen, you are looking a little bit weird today. I mean, you're
Oh, I
looking
am.
kind of green and sweaty.
I am. I'm sweating. What can I say? Bring me a sponge.
Yeah, but didn't you say you were feeling a little...
My stomach a little upset, like I need to take a sloppy dump.
That's great for
And
the
that pee
ladies.
pop. Yes,
They're
the
gonna
ladies,
love
can I
the
use
ladies.
your toilet?
They are going to love that sound of you.
John, I've got to tell you something. This is good for pod stuff. I started dating this girl. And when you first start dating someone, you don't want to fart in front of them.
No, you really do
You
not.
don't, especially when those first moments.
Unless you're comfortable with it as
Oh,
a
hey, I
person.
just met you. Let me fart. No.
Well, some I've heard it work in other ways. I've heard it where a guy just grabbed the girl's hand, put it by her butt, put it by his butt, farted, and she loved him after that.
Oh, well,
That
like
was
to meet
her
that
guy.
type of girl. But no, what happened is I'd go to another room. I'd go in the bathroom and, run the faucet and fart. And then, like I'd spend the night there. The next day, I'd hear her in the bathroom like... And it's like, okay, well, I guess I can start farting because nothing's private now. Because her walls were so paper thin, and it turned out, she told me later, that she could hear me farting in the bathroom anyways.
Dude, that is kind of revealing for, you know what
It's
I mean?
super revealing. I took my pants off.
Took your pants off. What are we talking about?
I like how you're
here?
playing the Lord of the Rings theme.
Well, you just looked a little odd. I
yeah,
wanted
like
to.
was turning into Gollum.
I wanted to play a little of you in the kitchen at breakfast time. If
Yeah,
you Or, and is that you said you weren't feeling real well when you came here? I mean,
macaroni and cheese before you go to bed is not a good idea.
Maybe you can't do the powdered cheese. I mean, what is powdered cheese?
It's something very mysterious.
I'm confused.
Those artificial foods really weird me out.
Oh boy, do they ever!
Like, oh, we've got fruit snacks made with real and artificial fruit.
Yeah, what is that?
Our food scientists have been. Oh, what is this?
Ladies and
La da
gentlemen,
dee, la da da, la da dee, la da da.
ladies and gentlemen, it's an all skate.
Of course it is.
That means grab your girl and or your friend, if you're girls, and head to the...
We're going to Linwood today.
Linwood tonight.
We're sticking with
Dude,
Linwood.
Do you know Linwood is where they filmed the movie Roll Bounce?
No, I did not know that.
That movie has a little Bow Wow.
Is that true? That was
and
filmed there?
you know what's weird about it is they kept the set. They kept
okay.
like somebody... You're not hearing me. They put tinfoil up on the walls like in a weird popcorny builded thing.
You're being
sculpted.
serious.
Dude, Roll Bounce was filmed at Linwood Roller Skating Rink.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
It is guarantee.
Okay.
It's guarantee. And I went there right after I had seen the movie just to verify. I was going to ask somebody. And then the walls looked exactly like the movie. And I go, okay, this is just, it's the way it is.
And they just didn't change it. They kept it.
Da-ba-da-ba-dap, dip-dap-a-day, da-ba-da-ba-dap.
Yeah, I got to say, I never saw Roll Bounce.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's like it's got the conflict resolution, and this kid's a roller skating guy. He's pretty good, and then he's got to compete at the end.
The parents are like, you know what? We don't want you doing this roller skating.
Yeah, you're throwing your life away.
Like, Dad, this is my talent. I'm really good at the roller rink. You need to see me. Then at the very end, the father's inside the crowd cheering him on with a tear rolling down his eye. Son, I knew you could do it.
Exactly.
It's almost like that basketball scene in Teen Wolf.
What was the basketball scene in Teen Wolf?
Oh, just, Michael J. Fox showing up as himself without the wolf, proving to his teammates that...
What were you saying as that bike drove by?
Yes.
Remember last week we had the Mr. Lawnmower?
Yeah, that guy.
Dude, that is the best
What a
lawnmower.
jerk.
Yeah, what a jerk. Mowing your own lawn.
Yeah, he did that after he saw the microphone set up. I saw him putting gas into his lawnmower, and then he started going to town.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Rod at the theater on Friday. You saw the Green Inferno?
Yes.
I have you after the movie if you want to hear the drop.
Oh, sure.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
You were trying to think about the
Yeah,
movie.
that's exactly true.
Gotcha.
As soon as I stood up, I was like, I got to use the washroom really quick, so I got to pee. And I was like, hey, Adam, what'd you think of the movie? Then I dropped him off, and that was it.
Okay, and what did you actually ask him? Or?
Yeah, we discussed the movie, our thoughts about the movie and what worked, what didn't.
Okay, cool. What was that? Was that on Friday?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So what did he think?
You're going to have to ask him himself. We could call him right now.
I wonder if he'd answer.
No, probably not.
No, it's not like I don't know if calling him would be the best.
No,
for
but
the
I'm
show.
going to try and prank someone. though.
Yeah, but how are we gonna put it on the air?
I can just put the microphone on speakerphone, see what it sounds like.
Who are you pranking? Do we know?
Anyone.
Oh, you're just calling anybody?
Anyone,
What are you
yes.
gonna say? This is a live prank. This
Yeah,
is new.
pretty much.
This is new to the podcast. Hey, maybe you should do the. Hey, Rod.
What's up?
Maybe since we have the lawnmower, I'll just play that.
Yeah,
and-
hold on. Let's see what we get here. Lucky caller. It's actually Sunday. Ooh, don't know who they are.
Yeah, listen, it's not gonna work, man, because you have to. There's a lot of whatevers that go on.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see what else.
No,
we can do.
I think we're good,
No,
man.
wait, hold on 1 second. You got a lucky caller.
Dude, nobody's gonna answer. It's a Sunday. People are at church.
Exactly. We gotta get to the bottom of this.
No additional charge.
Dude, you're not hearing me, bro. That's why prank calls are pre-recorded.
And that's why they suck.
It depends. Depends on what you're doing. Are you still going?
No.
Okay,
Shut
cool.
this off.
So, Green Inferno out of 10. What do you think?
Well, I gave it 3 stars out of 4.
3 out of 4. That's pretty good.
It is.
Well, who are you, Leonard Maltin?
I am. I'm
Actually-
the ghost of Roger Ebert.
Yeah, I guess Leonard Maltin is on. That movie review show he does is one of the best. It's one of the best now.
He's a historian of film.
Do you know? Yeah, I mean now Ebert and Roper, or no, it's Roper, isn't it? Roper that's
Yeah, he's taken over it. It's Richard
yeah, but
Roper.
I don't know why he wouldn't pair up with Maltin, and it's their strength in numbers.
2 different ships sailing in the night.
So, anyways, I hung out with you guys on Friday.
You know, John, I'm gonna have to use the washroom really quick. So, are you gonna pause or you want to go on and do your thing? I'm only gonna give you a couple minutes.
Okay, sounds good. We'll
You
take
can
a
play a
break.
whole bunch of drops of stuff dropping.
Oh, sure, will do. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Captain O.G. Reedmore here. I've got a great suggestion for fun that's out of sight. Get the family together for a family reading night. Turn Grandma in to Captain Hook, let Dad play guns again. Pick your favorite book, give out the parts, and let the fun begin. It's hilarious. And it's easy. And it's great for any weather. Read a book tonight. You'll see I'm right. Reading is so together.
What comes with the 91 Toyota Corolla LE Extra Value Package? A lot of valuable extras that can add up to a savings of $1,000, plus factory-to-dealer incentives.
Hello, Pizza Hut delivery. 2 pepperoni pizzas right away. Yes, we've got Crystal Pepsi. Yes, we do.
No, we don't have Crystal Pepsi. This is Domino's.
No. Yes.
Now get a free 2-liter of Crystal Pepsi with any 2 medium 1-topping pizzas for $11.99, only from Pizza Hut.
Yes, we have it.
Oh, yes, we have Crystal Pepsi. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Pizza Hut. Sometimes you gotta stop and smell the pizza.
Free Crystal Pepsi when you buy 2 medium 1-topping pizzas for only $11.99 at Pizza Hut.
Ready, set, save. Tomorrow, it's the last-minute Shoppers Saturday sale at Emporium Capwell. 1 day of store-wide savings to help you wrap up your Christmas shopping. Tomorrow, from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m. The last-minute Shoppers Saturday sale at Emporium Capwell. Finish a winner.
Have you seen those ads with the chairman of Montgomery Ward saying all their name brands are now reduced to low prices every day? I'm talking quality names like Lazy Boy, Sealy, Sony, GE, Maytag, Michelin, many 20 to 50% below last year. And if you can find a lower advertised sale price at any store, they'll match it. Plus, your satisfaction's guaranteed or your money back. Hey, if I can get the brands I want at the prices I want, then they got my business.
Montgomery Ward, the brand name savings store.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and John's alone in the studio. Rod had to leave. And so, yeah, that's I've never podcasted alone before, but there's a first for everything. This podcast stuff, you don't know how it's going to go. It's always nice to have a guest. But unfortunately, today we don't. We do have some news coming up. We have Jim Carrey. We have a update on the shooting in Oregon, which is, upsetting. We have a little bit of extra from Shark Tank. That's kind of cool. An unknown song will play in the future here shortly. And Rod is back.
I am. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an update on the Glookers. If it's yellow, let it mellow. Or apparently they let it mellow.
That was probably my bad.
No, I'm saying that's cool. The Glookers are conservatives. They're conserving water.
We're also conservative politically, whatever that means.
Politically?
I went to a dinner once, and it was for somebody's, it was for a funeral or a wake or something.
Okay.
Which was a shame because the guy was a young man. He died a young man. I mean, under 60. Oh. Dude. And somebody asked me at the table, no, that wasn't it. It was for the Munster corn roast for the
Rotary or something.
The Rotary, yeah, exactly. Thank you. And somebody asked me, so what affiliation are you? Are you left or right? And I'm like, I listen to Adam Carolla. I'm the type of person who, I have a brain. I'm the brain party. Use your head, everybody.
I'm a Rush Limbaugh devotee.
Dude, Rush Limbaugh is incredibly boring. I'm sorry.
So who's incredibly boring? It's Don Iver.
A lot of shows are boring. I used to listen to Steve Dahl quite a bit.
He's a bore.
It's just that they're not really saying anything. Yeah, they're on the air, but I don't know what's happening. I'm not learning anything.
I think the idea is if they ever said anything, it was decades ago. It's somehow they just latched on to that job.
Well, that's the thing. I thought about this show. Like it's highly produced, this show, so I have like a roster of what I want to get to and stuff. Sometimes things come up. I kind of like that. You got to have a plan, otherwise you don't have a plan, and then things
are not having a plan. That's just me. That's not Steve Dahl.
And I know, but I'd like to have this show a little bit scripted. Would you like to run the board?
No. Maybe a little, but whatever. But I saw the important topic at hand is that I saw John Kluger on Friday.
Okay, yes. Explain that. I mean, how did we do? How did it go?
I saw you briefly. I thought you were coming to the movies and you weren't.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the movie because, had plans for Saturday. No.
Oh, yeah?
No, that wasn't it. Sitting is a problem for me because I do a lot of sitting at work. My job is sedentary. So, the most movement I get is stocking shelves and stuff. It's disappointing.
Yeah,
it's
but
depressing. I'd rather be
hey, I'm going to the movies, and we're leaving, and you're like, hey, I'm not going.
That is not exactly true, because
Yes,
me
it
and you
is.
spoke on the phone, and
Yeah.
I said, hey, I'm probably not going to go see the movie, but I will hang out.
I missed that part.
No, dude, what? You're the one that
yeah.
told me, why don't you come over and we'll just hang out at Branson's before we go to the movie? I mean, I didn't know I don't exactly remember what was said, but...
Well, I think there might have been something misconstrued because you're only hanging out for a little bit before the movie anyways, so it's pointless to be like, hey, come over
Maybe
for
it was
5 minutes.
maybe it was my bad.
Yeah, maybe
Dude,
you had your,
I mean,
earplugs in.
did you guys have a good time hanging out together at the movie?
Yeah, I mean, sat down. Literally, when we walked in was when it was the time to start.
So, trailers?
Yeah, there were some good trailers. There was.
I told you about that.
Oh, the trailers were ones that I've seen online already, but there was one called The Witch. Looked kind of good.
Okay, cool. What's that one about?
I honestly don't really have too much information on it, aside from that it looks like 1700s era story of, like a child goes missing and the witch is at fault. Then another one was Crimson Peak, the new Guillermo del Toro movie. Looks
Okay,
alright.
cool. You like that stuff?
Yeah, it looks like an old gothic. Well, because we watched a horror movie, they seem to have more genre trailers beforehand. So that Crimson Tide looked like, Crimson Peak. Crimson Tide's that Gene Hackman, Denzel Washington submarine movie.
Okay.
But Crimson Peak looks like it's a gothic castle ghost story type thing. There was a trailer also for the series that I think sucks that you might like. That Paranormal Activity. There's a new one of those duds.
Dude, they must be making money off
have
of
to
those if they're producing them left and right. Every movie before loses something when you make another one.
Well, I think they lost something from the first one.
Well,
I only saw the first one and hated it. I thought it sucked.
Here's the deal. There's big money in date nights, I guess.
Oh, there's big money in just taking your kids and dropping them off at the movie theater.
Yeah, there is. How about this trailer?
Clifford is a very special little boy.
Would you please stop hitting the back of my chair? I am trying to sleep.
I'm sorry, Miss Nice Older Person, but I don't know what you're talking about. Perhaps you were just having a nightmare about your early days
Yeah, I've
in
never
the
seen this
circus.
all the way because it was
Hi, what's your
too
name,
big
son?
flag for my boy.
My name is Clifford, and I think you're the bestest captain in the whole wide world.
Well, thank you. And he's bound for Los Angeles to spend a week with his Uncle Martin.
Isn't there an
This guy's voice is the best, this trailer guy.
Well, I guess so.
Are we ready to go to Dinosaur World now?
I've got some bad news.
What? What? A whole gang of chocolate. I need it badly.
What do you mean you're out of chocolate? I need chocolate! Breaking a little boy's promise would be a terrible, terrible thing. I would imagine the little boy wouldn't be responsible for what he was going to do next.
Okay, needless to say, I've seen the movie.
Yeah, you're probably a fan of it. A Clifford t-shirt. And why was that selected? You're a fan of Clifford and want to say something about it?
Yes, indeed. Basically, can you repeat that question?
So you're a fan of Clifford? Like, what's the story of Clifford?
Yeah, I'm a fan, just like you're a fan of Ghoulies 1, 2,
I like 2
Day
more
of the
than
Dead,
1,
Dawn of... Yeah, how was Ghoulies 1? I don't...
Well, we'll talk. You know what? Hold the thought.
Hold it for the Halloween special?
No. We'll talk about Ghoulies in a second.
But I think we should hold it for the Halloween
because
special.
There's so much to talk about for Halloween that I feel Ghoulies 2 is better than Ghoulies 1 to talk about. So I could talk about Ghoulies 1 now briefly, but go on with Clifford.
Yeah, it's just I saw it, in the 90s, and it's... Dude, he really does torment his, keeper in the movie. And, the guy, loses his job, loses his wife, and Clifford, dude, is responsible for all of it. And he's like, what, little me? I didn't do anything. And then, the guy's gonna, Clifford's life hangs in the balance, and the guy saves him at the end. And then they show Clifford as an older man. And he basically says he knows that as a kid, he was out there, bro.
Yes.
So he reels in the kid that was thinking of misbehaving or whatever.
Yeah, never saw Clifford all the way. I thought it was pretty bad, but it's got a cult status. Recently I read Martin Short's book.
Oh, really?
I did. I read his autobiography.
Okay, cool. What any highlights?
It was just, it touched upon his relationship with his wife and his creative process a little bit. You know, I gotta say this, John. This is one of the great...
Dude, his wife just passed.
No, that was one of the great blunders, is because his wife died a couple years ago. Then Martin Short went on like Kathy Lee Gifford in the morning.
And she asked. Yeah, she's like, how's everything?
You and your wife have one of the longest and greatest relationships in Hollywood.
And he goes, "Did you just hear? I mean, my
wife's
No,
he didn't say that. He sat there and graciously.
He did do it graciously. He graciously.
He didn't sit there and say anything. He sat there and acted as if he was still married. And it wasn't until commercial break where Kathy Lee realized what happened. It was an honest mistake.
Yeah, it's an honest mistake.
But an embarrassing mistake, nonetheless. But no, going back to Ghoulies, you never seen Ghoulies 1?
I did not see Ghoulies 1. Did you see Ghoulies 1?
Yes, I actually have both Ghoulies 1 and 2. I like Ghoulies 2 more than 1.
Is it because 1 is kind of introducing the characters?
No, because aside from the creatures, it has nothing to do with the first one. What happens in the first one is it starts off with a satanic cult or some kind of a cult about to sacrifice a baby in some kind of ritual. So this guy saves the baby, and the baby grows up and inherits the house. So he finds a book of black magic and conjures up the Ghoulies.
Okay, right.
And, you know, they're very gremlin-esque creatures. They cause havoc around the house. They pop up out of the toilet.
Right, it's like he's like, why don't you guys wash the clothes, you ghoulies, you slimy things, furry, hairy.
Well, he invites, because him and his lady have this great new spread, he invites all his friends over, and, you know, they're getting stoned, drinking, having a good time, and the Ghoulies interrupt it.
I could see that. Those damn Ghoulies.
Those Ghoulies. But there's 4 Ghoulies, if you could imagine.
Oh, there is 4?
Yeah, the sequel, the part 2 actually
Yeah, they're more.
Carnival.
It's kind of like Puppet Master. You know, they started out with maybe 5 to 8 characters, and then they started adding.
Oh, the giant ghoulie that shows up at the carnival in part 2 is definitely not in part 1.
Gotcha. Hey, Rod, do you remember this show?
This is Herman Brooks. Herman is just like the rest of us. Every day he has to make all
I don't want to sound like a
decisions.
negative Ned, but this is yet
Like
another show
what
that
to wear,
the Rodster was not digging. You know, at that time I didn't have cable, so my options were incredibly limited. So
now,
I'd watch
these
stuff like
decisions
Herman's
should be
Head.
easy. But if you take a look inside
She was.
Herman's head,
She was.
you'll see
Was
why
she,
he
you know what? I
sometimes
think
has
she was
trouble
an office
making up
character
his mind.
more so than
I'm
actually in
Herman's
his head.
intellect. Without
But
me,
here's
he couldn't hold his job, pay his rent, or tie his shoes.
I'm Herman's sensitivity. Without me, he wouldn't feel tenderness, honesty, or love. The good things in life.
I'm Herman's anxiety, and I keep him out of trouble. And believe me, there's trouble everywhere.
I'm Herman's lust. Without me, he'd miss out on all the good stuff.
That's a
You know,
popular
fun,
voice.
Food, babes.
Sometimes they agree.
The guy who you could mistake for
Usually they don't. But this struggle is going on inside all of us.
That wasn't Artie Lang?
And it's all going on inside Herman's head.
Yeah,
Paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, you have a telephone call at the front desk, which is interesting because for our Razzle Dazzle Halloween show, I've got a quick drop of a movie that Herman was in, Fright Night, where the character's like, "You're so cool, Brewster."
But did he go as Pee Wee Herman in the movie, or
No.
was he actually himself?
No, he was himself.
Paul Rubin. Didn't you make a point before the intervention that what did people go up to Pee Wee and say, "Hey, you should change"?
Yes.
That's a good one. I mean, yeah, because Pee Wee's out there.
It's such an out there, offbeat character. You'd think this family would have approached him, but like, son, this ha-ha and all this stuff that you do is really, it's offbeat. It's weirding people out. What are we gonna say?
Yeah, we think you have a problem.
Well, you have to imagine Jim Varney too. His family come up to him being like, Jim, this Ernest character, I just don't know.
You know what's weird about it is that Jim Varney was in Broadway and things like that.
Was he really?
Yeah, he's an
Are you
accomplished.
sure it wasn't off Broadway?
Dude, but I mean, all of his characters are so believable, man. They really are.
Do you remember when Jim Varney appeared on Roseanne in the later terrible seasons as a rich count?
Oh, really? I gotta see that episode, man. That is classic. Thank you for telling me that.
I think there are
man.
a couple episodes. I think he had a little story arc.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, we have important news, an update on the Oregon shooting. Sorry to hear that. We have a little bit of Jim
Well,
Carrey.
let me just ask you, John, what's up with these school shootings?
And a show and a song that I'm going to have Rod guess who the singer is.
But don't you find that weird? The whole, you go to school to be safe and learn, not to get killed.
Dude, I was a teacher,
Yeah, you were a teenage werewolf, too.
I was also a teenage werewolf.
But you were a math teacher, correct me if I'm
Math
wrong?
teacher, that's correct. And we did have an armed guard on the premises. But it's just one armed guard. That is not going to help you when, let's say you had two kids, like in Columbine or whatever else. It's stupid shit. Here's the thing. If you pull a gun, prepare to die. Because they will, if you do something that makes somebody mad personally, most likely they are going to shoot you.
Listen, madmen, please do not go to schools with guns.
It's a gun-free zone.
You are making something incredibly shady. You know what? Do you remember post 9/11 where the media and the government would play lame games with us and be like, "Oh, the terror alert, the terror alert."
It's orange. Yeah.
Well, why don't they do this with schools? Why don't they really implement some kind of security measures with school? I mean, Hey, Mom, I'm going to college. You shouldn't have to worry about your kids getting killed by a gunman.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first.
The following programming is EI, educational and informative.
There you go. And it sounded like we have a security car going off there. Did you hear that, Rod?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, my.
That's a great point. Go to school to learn. You shouldn't have to carry a handgun, but maybe that's the way it's going.
I mean, just think about there was Columbine, there was the Asian guy that
Dude,
shot
the
up
Asian
Virginia
guy
Tech.
is the worst, man.
What was his name? Chode?
Whatever.
I think his name was Chode, in all honesty.
He literally
looked like a Chode.
Our show is setting off alarms, everybody.
It is. I think oh my
set it off. I'll be in your quarters, Captain.
And what song is this?
It's Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition.
Okay, I knew this was from the B96 days where I'd cry at the roller rink because no one accepted my couple skate.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, when Brian and I would go to the roller rink, Ellen Smith used to roller skate there. And, dude, she was a woman amongst little boys, dude. And
okay,
she
Ellen
was.
Smith.
We were hooked,
Are
None
you
of
sure
us.
talk about Ellen Rose.
Oh, it was Ellen Rose. Thank you for clearing that.
Ellen
Didn't
Smith.
you date Ellen Rose?
No, I thought about Ellen
Didn't you go to prom with Ellen Rose?
No. So did you ever put any moves on the old Ellen or no?
There was no. I was barely a boy. You know what I mean? And she was literally. She looks the same now because I saw her maybe about 10 years ago. But
10 years ago. That's a good inkling.
Yeah, it is. But I guess she used to roller skate with her. That's where I met one Dominic Yesko.
Oh, cool.
Besides being in school with him in his
Talk
class.
about getting run over.
Dude, holy moly.
So what about Jim Carrey? Isn't that sad?
Oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. But I do have this.
I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too. One time a guy handed me a picture of me. He said, "Here's a picture of me when I was younger. Every picture is of you when you were younger." Ain't that about time someone said that? I opened up a yogurt, and underneath the lid it said, "Please try again." They were having a contest I was unaware of. But I thought I might have opened the yogurt wrong. Or maybe Yoplait was trying to inspire me. Come on, Mitch, don't give up.
Okay, and what is
Please
this, John? What
try
does this have to
again.
do with anything?
A message of inspiration from your friends at Yoplait. Fruit on the bottom, hope on top.
I'd like to have some comedy in here too.
Nothing like junkie comedy.
Dude, Mitch Hedberg was like the king of one-liner kind of stuff, dude. I dig it.
He's a king of one lines, that's for sure. Snorting those lines.
A lot of people. Did you hear what people said about the show?
I don't think so.
You didn't hear that?
Rod, yeah, his statements are confusing.
Rod, he's one of a kind. Really didn't like what he said last week.
Oh, no.
And why not?
I just didn't like the way he said it, that's all.
Yeah, Rod's my favorite podcaster ever.
There you go. That is.
I like that enthusiasm with that lady.
Yeah, but you know what? I did want to, say something to our haters out there.
Yeah, screw you.
No, well, besides that, I did have something queued up for our haters.
Okay.
If, you know.
They call you the Terminator. Please don't hate me. If this was a swamp, you'd be an alligator. Please don't hate me. You can use a cold glass.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got nothing to do with this.
Sure, come on up. Take the elevator.
There you go.
Yes, in the words of Insane Clown, don't hate me. Don't hate me.
How did you know it was the Insane Clown Posse?
Oh, my friendship with that drunk Josh Reed.
Okay, gotcha. And he's played that for you before. So
Oh,
I
I'm
guess
pretty
it's
sure
an
I've heard
Eminem.
the whole ICP catalog through that guy.
Not a bad catalog. Very inventive.
I would beg to differ. I mean, once you hear the whole ICP catalog and Twisted and all that stuff, I'm good. Thank you.
Do you know what this is?
That's Super Mario Brothers Part 2.
How the heck did you know that?
Oh, because it was my favorite Mario Brothers game.
Gotcha. Did you like Sonic the Hedgehog?
I did, but I wasn't a Sega kid. I didn't own the Genesis.
What? How about a Super Nintendo?
What do you think? My parents are rich like the Gluckerts, where every room could have a different video game system? Did the Gluckerts have a Neo Geo?
We did have a Neo Geo. No, but I'll tell you know who did have a Neo Geo was Tomoyo Toyama.
Exactly, a kid who I didn't hang out with, my brother did. But I will say this, John, when you're a kid...
He hung around with one of his brothers, right?
Yeah, something like that. But when I was a kid, and it's either Super Nintendo or Genesis, and you have to make that choice, because my parents were going to be like, oh, we're giving you both.
Did they? They were going to give you both?
No, we just got one, so we stuck with Nintendo.
Throughout the years, even when they had Super Nintendo and N64 and all that?
Dude, the only systems I ever got outside of Nintendo were TurboGrafx 16 and like PlayStation for a minute.
Dude, TurboGrafx 16, that was a system?
Oh yeah.
What was that?
Bonk's Adventure was the big Mario Sonic flagship for their system.
Dude, I haven't even... You know what I caught up with yesterday was Toy Hunter, that show.
I'm not familiar with that.
Where he goes around and looks for exotic toys. And he's like, he tells you what his markup will be.
Oh,
I found a Wonder Woman, the original pressing, for $18,000. I'll sell it for $20,000.
Yes.
That puts my markup at $2,000. And he makes money.
Oh,
but
that sounds more credible than the Pawn Star guy, where he acts like he can't turn around and sell something. He's like, I'm going to be stuck with it for a long time.
Well, the guy, he deals in toys solely.
Yes.
So, but they do get some cool stuff, even stuff. I was thinking about that. They had like the Star Wars catalog. That was one of their episodes. Was the Star Wars toys. They also did like rare He-Man toys, where Mattel wanted all these different He-Man toys, so they couldn't find 4 pieces. They used him to find them.
Okay.
That was cool. And then he made money off of Mattel. I mean, Mattel's buying from the guy. And if you put a buyer with a seller, dude, you can make a staggering amount of money. You just have to find the buyer,
Well, it's a weird thought, too, is because they made Ernest dolls back in the day. So there's somewhere in a box.
Ernest dolls?
There's an Ernest P. Worrell doll that you pull a string and it talks in a box that's worth
hey, buddy,
tons of money. And Toy Hunter's going to go find Ernest. He's going to find the Ed Grimley in a box, too.
Who's Ed Grimley?
That was a Martin Short character. He had the pointy tip in the front of his hair, you know what I'm talking about? He was always like, oh, I must say. And like bouncing around. He had a cartoon in the 80s. They made a doll out of him.
There you are.
No, I didn't actually. Okay, so what movie was he famous from?
It was a Martin Short created character from Saturday.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Saturday Night Live and SCTV.
Do you know that Saturday Night Live just did a special?
No, I don't follow that.
Were you saying something about Ernest?
I was.
Come on.
There you go, little Ernest.
Come on.
From the doll, you pull the string and he says that.
Yeah, he says,
come on.
I know what I mean.
Know what I mean, Vern. So, the SNL special was on, and then they started getting political. Like, remember when we had Hillary Clinton on? Do you remember when we had Bill Clinton on?
Remember when we had Sarah Palin come on?
Dude, that was a large portion of the show. I swear to God, that SNL special was literally about commercials. It would they had 20 minutes of commercials and then 5 minutes of SNL and just whatever.
Yeah, it's filler.
What's interesting about the show, ladies and gentlemen, is that you get a unique, soundtrack behind it. This is Mark DeSouza, 187 Miles, unreleased song, actually.
Who is Mark DeSouza?
He's a pretty good guitar player,
Some
pretty
guy
good
you know?
songwriter. I do know him.
Okay. So, hey, if you're unsigned and you've got no contacts to send to us, we'll play it.
We will play it. And actually, we do have a special shout out. You want to hear the shout out?
Sure. Hey, Groovitron.
There is something so scary about that T-Rex yell, man. I mean, if it sounds like it, it's rumbling the house and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the toy hunter, he was talking about all of his different markups, and he went into the He-Man thing. I love He-Man, and they sell He-Man toys at Nostalgia and Disc Replay and all these other things. You can get them for a steal. You put them through the dishwasher, clean them up, and dude, you're good to go, man.
Have you been to that Nostalgia place?
I have not. Is it what was your take on it?
Incredibly limited.
Well, of course, the guy's just starting out, right?
Or was he going to expand that store, John? I mean, come on.
He will expand his inventory.
I think where's he going to put it? Have you been inside? That's what I'm talking about. You go inside there, it's very limited.
He's not going to put it in your basement where it floods, or in your upstairs room where it burns.
He has too many things that are overpriced.
Well, of course, he's trying to make a living, bro.
Yes, but when nobody comes in to really get anything, how are you going to sell that $10 He-Man?
Yeah, that's true. You got to make the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Did you hear this one from Dancing with the Stars? I can see him dancing right now. This is a live version.
Ooh.
Dude, it's a live version with like horns and...
Well, I guess that makes it awesome then.
It is cool. Did you ever watch the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Feldman?
He was in 1 and 3, Feldman.
But what about who were some of the other voices?
Did you ever see the movie Revenge of the Nerds?
I did.
It was the Asian nerd. He was one of the voices. I think he wasn't Raphael. He was
It's all good.
Yeah, I don't. He was one of them. Cousin Oliver from Brady Bunch was a voice.
Oh, really? That's kind of cool. Cool. Do you know that there was a black SNL talent that was in the 70s or whatever else? He became a famous actor. He was on Martin.
Oh, Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris. Yeah, you know him.
He was in the Stuff.
Oh, he was in the Stuff, right?
He was was it like Chocolate Chip Charlie or something? He had that great scene where he turns into the Stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we promised you a song that it's right at this time, it's unknown. I wanted to play it for Rod and see if he can actually tell me who it is. Here it is.
Mutating to a fully grown...
This isn't someone that you know, right? This isn't one that you know.
I've come to talk with you again.
I know what the song is. I don't know who's singing.
Because a vision softly creeping.
The people wanted to hear you talk over it.
Left its scenes while I was sleeping. And the vision that was floating back
touch the sounds of silence. Who are these clowns?
This is what happens when Rod sings on your track.
Honestly, no offense to whoever sang the song or whoever covered that, but it almost sounded like John took the original recording and slowed it down. Like, okay, I'm going to decrease the speed of this song.
Do you know who this is?
No idea.
Can you hear it coming through the amp?
Yeah, I have no idea who sings this. It's a Garfunkel.
It is Simon.
Oh, fine.
His son.
Yeah?
No. I wanted you to, because here's where it gives it away.
Dude, I don't know.
You do know. It's somebody you know.
Dude, I stay away from stuff like this.
What do you listen to? Because you said you were listening to an MP3. Does that give it away?
No. Dude, John, I don't listen to stuff like this. I'm sorry.
Well, what do you listen to, Jam?
Not this. I don't listen to Well, how would I know this? dead. Is it Chad Kroeger? What is this?
Ladies and gentlemen, he got it. It is Chad Kroeger.
Dude, I do not listen to Nickelback. Nickelback is a crap band to me. I'm sorry.
See if you can get it.
So it's not Chad Kroeger. It's Kip Winger. I don't know.
It is Kip Winger.
Was it really? I don't know.
Dude, wow. If I play you a clip, are you going to be able to tell me who the voice is? Or are you not good at voice recognition?
If I listen to it, know what it is, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you we didn't know.
It's not Aaron Lewis?
He's on the right track.
See, and I completely disregard that genre of music.
And why is that?
Because it's garbage to me.
Of the prophets are written on the subway wall.
Lady, is that what he says written on the subway walls?
Yes.
Let's see if he's right. I think I see. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very big fan of Paul Simon.
I like Simon and Garfunkel. What do you want me to say? A winter's day. I actually like, are you going to Scarborough Fair? Mary John and the kid Gluckerts are on the lamb. Remember when Gluckert lived on Schreiber Lane? No, but who was that? How would I know that?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Disturbed.
Exactly. I'm sorry.
Because you don't listen to rock music?
I don't listen to what I think is crappy rock music.
Wow, dude, that's rough, man.
You're down with the sickness. Dude, I hated that stuff.
That's exactly why this was, different.
Yeah, and I mean, if I found out that Disturbed was covering a song like that, I wouldn't have anything to do with it. I'm sorry.
Dude, you are one tough critic, bro.
Hey, I like what I like.
Dude, I've gotten that vibe.
Yeah, I don't like let the bodies hit the floor. I let the body like that scream.
Well, I mean, but we have to intro our songs to be, pumped up, to get people pumped up for the show, man.
Oh, there's so many options in this world. Let's play Stain.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is October.
Wait, do you have any POD?
It is October 4th, 2015. We are in St. John Pod Studios.
St. John
You can
Gluckert.
contact us at spoileralert@johnandrod@gmail.com.
You got it. Thank you.
And right now we're listening to a little Johnny Highland. Boy, can this guy play the guitar. He's literally God playing the guitar. I mean, if God
Something
played,
like
he would play this guy's freaking style.
If God sat down and played a guitar, it would break from the sheer awesomeness of his divine nature.
Oh my. Oh my.
God is a country boy.
Yes, so we already did our commercial block. Did you want to go into a little bit of the news?
Yeah, let's talk about the sad update for Mr. Jim Carrey.
Oh, did you? Okay, here it goes. Here's a little bit of news. We go to our field reporter. Let's see who it is.
TMZ is...
It's our field reporter.
It's Melissa at TMZ.
No, it's Melissa that works for our show who is reporting through TMZ.
Okay.
TMZ is reporting that Jim Carrey's 28-year-old girlfriend has committed suicide.
Oh, no.
According to TMZ, police found the body of Cathriona White Monday night in her LA home.
Somebody stop
Cathriona
me.
tweeted on the 24th, signing off Twitter, "I hope I have been a light to my nearest and dearest." TMZ reports she left a suicide note to Carrey and references their breakup earlier this month. The site also reports claims from law enforcement that she died from an overdose
Question,
of
does
drugs
Jim Carrey
and
have
pills
blood on
were
his
found
hands?
next to her body.
Well-
Carrey and White met in 2012.
Okay, fine. So she killed herself. Dude, that is never good when your lover kills themselves, is it? I mean, dude, it happened recently to the lead singer of the Rolling Stones.
Mick Jagger.
Yeah, did you hear that?
I did, yes.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's not good. And then she overdosed on pills. But I don't know if there was did they say there was a letter? Because I wasn't really listening.
For the Jim Carrey one, yes.
Okay, so she wrote a letter. Yeah, dude, I mean,
My
think
baby
of what,
just wrote me a letter.
Think of what he's thinking right now. Like
He's thinking I was getting rid of this girl because I had this young.
She
fox.
was no. She was young. She's younger than us.
Dude, she's younger than Jim Carrey's kid.
It's just I don't understand why you'd kill yourself. I just don't get it, man. I don't whatever.
Because dude, she's some nothing girl.
No,
Hooks up with Jim Carrey. She's living the high life for the relationship. Jim Carrey has millions upon millions of dollars. It's over. He's like, it's over. We got to stop this relationship. Her world crumbles.
Okay, so you did hear that he was breaking up with her.
Yeah, through my TMZ contacts. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, interesting. I thought was it Carol that did the reporting for us? Or?
It was Melissa.
She
had a hot tip. Jim Carrey's thinking about. He's like, there's a 30-year age difference. We just don't have a lot of common ground. I talk out of my butt. She doesn't.
I did not hear that he was literally breaking up with her. I did not hear that. I don't think that's true. Is that true?
Well, I don't think it was a big. You know what? It's not the same cachet as when he was dating Jenny McCarthy. It wasn't like, oh, here's the new girl Jim Carrey's dating. She's 20-something.
Right. Did you say, ladies and gentlemen, it's an all skate
it is.
to the rink?
We were at the roller rink.
Did you bring your thing for me?
I did.
Dude, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, John?
Yes, indeed.
Will you accept my hand as we go around Linwood really quick? We're not going to look gay at all, I swear.
Okay, I will take your hand. Here, grab my hand.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you. We are locked in.
You did it right on the beat, too. I couldn't ask for more from John.
Right. I always keep the beat.
Okay, we see all these ladies lined up with their hands extended. We got to slap it, buddy.
Hey, let's give a couple high fives.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. So,
ladies and gentlemen, history was made here. Roll Bounce was filmed here.
Yes, it was. So anyways,
where's Stephen Hawking when you need him to do this voice?
He's in the song. So anyways, got some more news. This one's another bummer.
According to the Oregon State Police, there has been a deadly shooting on the campus of a community college in southwestern
Dude, you
Oregon.
go to community
college. The name of the
Yes.
school is Umpqua Community College. It's located in
I gotta say, their
Roseburg,
community
Oregon,
college
which
could be
is
a better alternative than the big
179
college.
miles south of Portland. We can now report as many as 10 people are dead. That's according to multiple law enforcement sources in Oregon. There are many others injured. Some of those injuries are being described as critical.
I guess somebody survived by pretending they were dead.
Okay.
How do you pretend you're dead when you get shot through like the torso? You know what I mean? It's just
You just have your back up in the air and pretend you're sleeping.
I guess, man. It sucks. So I have a little bit of the police scanner. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Active shooter, UCC 1140 Umpqua College Road.
Confirmed report that he's got a long gun.
UCC, this is going to be the Snyder Hall. Somebody is outside one of the doors, shooting through the door. There is a female in the computer lab. We do have one female that has been shot at this time.
Exchanging shots with him. He's in a classroom on it's going to be the southeast side of the hall. The suspect is down. We've got multiple.
I just got to say, that's an inopportune time to get shot. I mean, you're only a couple weeks into school. The semester's not even over.
Oh yeah, well you're halfway in, right?
Yeah, you're not too far in, and it's just
the kids that he shot. Did you hear what he did?
No.
He had them stand up one at a time and
asked about
for
the
religion. What religion are you? And then he left one to share the story.
Oh, do you think it was a Scientologist?
No, I think he was against Christianity or Catholicism.
Okay, so it was a Satanist.
Dude, what was with the deal with his parents?
Well,
Where were his parents?
Was this a student of
his grandparents? Yeah, I guess he was a student. It was his class. It was his class, man. And dude, he sat with these people every day, and then you just look them right in the eye and blow them away.
He's like, I think this person's Jewish and Catholic. We're gonna find out right before I blow him away.
Dude, he was morbid about it too, because he's like, well, in 10 seconds you're about to see your Lord and Savior. Boom! I mean, just shoots him. You know.
And this guy died from the cops. They killed him.
Dude, they ain't gonna. If you kill any innocent people, your life's over, bro. They will hunt you down. You're dead. You're dead. Because if you think the cops are gonna let you live after being a piece of S, it's not gonna happen.
A piece of poop.
If you pull a gun, plan on getting shot. It's just the way it is. I mean,
especially in a hostage situation.
It's not good, man. It's
No, not
really.
at all.
I have a little of Donald Trump
Oy.
talking about it.
Donnie.
Ready? Donnie.
But no matter how well you do, guns, no guns, whatever you do, you're going to have mental illness and you're going to have these things happen.
Donald, some are suggesting that maybe people who allow people with mental illness to get access to a gun, whether they give it to them, sell it to them, or just allow them access, should be or could be prosecuted.
Well, it's all true and everything's fine, but no matter what, whether you don't give them guns, they're going to get guns. There are right now 200 to 300 million guns out there. They're going to get guns. It's not a gun problem. It's a mental illness
There
problem.
happened to be a no gun zone, a gun-free zone as well.
And that was a gun-free zone.
Another one. Let's pivot a little bit
Dude,
to foreign policy.
And by the way,
oh yeah, I was going to play the rest of it. But here's the thing. A gun-free zone in the U.S., you're allowed to carry a gun. Forget all that.
Yeah, it's your constitutional right.
Yeah, so gun-free zone, throw that right out the window. And dude, if somebody can say, okay, Jim, you have a mental illness, you're not allowed to carry a gun. Screw you guys, man. Screw you. Your classification of a mental illness, unless somebody's in a home, a mental hospital,
An institute, yes.
Yeah, unless they're institutionalized, carry if you will. And if you pull that gun out and you shoot innocent people, you will die.
Well, I mean, what's the next step? Do you need some kind of psychiatrist note before you buy a gun now?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I'm going hunting. Wait a minute. Are you mentally fit to do so?
Dude, it's crazy when you put a stereotype on it, or not stereotype, but you classify somebody like, oh, I believe they have a problem. And I mean, yes, you can talk to people and there's mental illness, but aren't the parents stepping in,
You know who's not shooting people is the mentally retarded.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're retarded. Right. They've got it right. They're not doing anything. I honestly, you have guns. I don't have guns. I'm terrified of guns. What is the
You're
point?
terrified of
I'm
guns?
terrified of guns.
Well, you know what? You need to break that because...
so I could get one and kill someone.
That is not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying to protect the people around you, the people you love. If something happens and you're unarmed, you're going to be one to go, Rod.
Yeah, but you don't know if you're equipped. If someone comes up to the door right now, there's a chance that they could shoot you before you have access to reach that weapon.
That's true, unless you're prepared like I typically am, but not today.
Well, I don't want a gun underneath my pillow or underneath the bed.
It would probably go off and kill you with your bad luck.
Exactly, pretty much.
But anyways, I do have... you said Donald Trump, yeesh. You don't want him to be president?
No.
Right now, he's the best thing we got going.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. You like Hillary?
No.
Do you like anyone else? At least Donald Trump, I'd listen to him. He's an interesting guy, man. No one else... Everyone else is boring.
Yeah, but, we thought Obama was interesting at first.
No, you did. I thought he was up.
You thought he was a dud?
Thumbs down, everybody. Thumbs down.
I wanted to believe the Obama hype. I wanted to. Sorry.
You know what when Obama got elected, this is what I said?
This is a big problem.
That's what I said. Me and a lot of others.
This is a big problem.
That was it when he got elected.
Oh, jeez.
Even for a second time.
I think you were in the minority then.
Big problem.
I guess it was. I knew that the country would sound a little bit like this if he got elected.
Some people are happy with Obama.
I guess so. So you said Donald Trump, yeesh, but here's a little Donald Trump about what he wants to do with America. Here we go. I like this idea.
But we're going to make America great again. And I know the other people. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
We have to make new trade deals. We have to make we have to repeal Obamacare.
Repeal Obamacare.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that.
And we can do that.
He's saying everything I like.
I will say, John, I feel that Obamacare is a complete communistic socialist concept, and I don't agree with it 100% at all.
Although you would be on Obamacare, right, with no job, correct?
No. I would get penalized for not having health care.
Even if you did have health care and you weren't on the Obamacare plan, they'd penalize you anyway. Because they want everybody to be on this piece of crap system.
So I'm a rebel.
Well, everyone that's paying the wage to have it, not be their primary source of care is a rebel, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I don't have insurance. I'm sorry. I lost it when I lost
Dude,
my shop.
I'm sorry to hear that, because if, something goes wrong. Dude, I hate to bring this up because this is, maybe I'll bring it up after the show. It's fine.
No, I will just say this. I've never had any type of illness.
That's not exactly true, because as I remember, you fell off your bike once.
No, I did.
Okay, and you cut your arm up, and
Yes.
then you had a major problem. What's the status on that update?
Completely fine.
So it healed itself.
Yeah, I had to have medication to get off it, but it's not like I had to spend $1,000 or anything.
You're
like that.
one of the cases of people that survived that flesh thing.
Yes, I did.
Dude, you must have alien DNA to pull
Ladies
that
and gentlemen,
off.
what John is referring to is I was riding my bike in 2008 and the chain fell off because I was wearing headphones and I flipped off the bike and I landed on my arm and wrist and all this stuff and it scraped up my arm and leg.
And it wasn't a bad scrape, it was just a scrape, right?
Yeah, there was rocks embedded in my arm, but it created MRSA. It created that flesh-eating disease.
I wouldn't say it created, but you definitely contracted it somewhere.
Yeah, they say from dirt, from the actual rocks or whatever.
Okay, that's incredible.
Or, my brother at the time was in the hospital for pneumonia or something
That's
like that.
more
So,
likely.
yeah, but at the same time, though, I wore a mask when I went to the
Yeah, but you
hospital.
did you cover your arm? Did
Yeah,
you
it was
have your arm
bandaged. It
covered?
was bandaged, yeah.
Dude, how it got...
It was covered.
how
So
it-
I'd start to get these weird, looked like whiteheads. Then you squeeze them, and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't a whitehead, and leave a hole in my arm.
Dude, you know what? I went to Fitness Point. Are you right? You with me on that?
Yeah, you're working out.
I was working out in the pool, And one day I was like, yeah, maybe I should go. I'll go into the jacuzzi. No big deal. And dude, the next couple days later, I get something like these red spots. And I was like, what are these red spots? It's like, what is it? It looked like it was a triangulation of spots, and I had a bump on my hand, And I was like, oh, this is a wart in these spots or whatever. Turns out it was shingles.
Okay.
I didn't contract it. I don't know where I contracted it, but because my immune system is always not comprised. What's the word? It's not good, my immune system.
Yeah, neither's mine.
Compromised. So anyways, because of diabetes, I contracted shingles. They gave me a pill for it, which is the pill because shingles is herpes.
Ugh.
Except it doesn't touch your
yeah.
special area. Thank Christ. Because if you have that special area thing, you're taking immune suppressors your whole life. Because that shit it'll come back, dude, monthly. I feel dude, anybody with any kind of thing like that, holy smokes, bro. It's a shame, man.
So you feel that you go to the gym and you get put in that kind of situation?
What?
Are you
mean
saying-
where your immune system might be compromised, or?
Yeah. You feel like they should have more health regulations at this point? Or?
That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying because I'm diabetic, I ran into a problem. You know what I mean?
But I never go to Fitness Point. Do they actually sanitize the machines very well and everything?
Dude, I believe you're supposed to wipe down the machine. I know a lot of times I didn't wipe down the machines. You know what I mean?
That would be karma.
It could have been karma.
God was looking down at you, seeing that you weren't wiping down the machines. He's like, I'm going to give this Gooker kid some shingles.
Yeah, he was. So anyways, I have a little bit on the special that, Shark Tank has those, shows that are, offshoots.
Okay.
I have a little bit on becoming a better salesman, if you want to hear.
Sure.
This is Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank and his special. Here we go.
My first job was to scoop ice cream. The woman who owned the mall said to me, "You got to get down with a knife and scrape all the gum out." I said, "I'm not going to wash the floors. I'm a scooper." And she looked at me and said, "You're fired." I would never work for anybody again.
So automatically he would never work for anybody again. So somebody was supporting him, right?
Yeah, you have to get money from somewhere. Source of income.
So here's some of his, top 5 sales techniques. See if they make sense to you. Here we go.
First, walk the walk.
Great salesmen and women understand it's their destiny to be a salesperson and to be great. It has to be there all the time, 24/7.
I don't want to sell anything.
That's called walking the walk.
Unfortunately, we sell things every day. You have to sell yourself at that interview you're going to be going to, right?
Yeah, and I dread that because I don't like selling myself. I mean, I don't like hype.
This show is hype. I mean,
Not really for you, maybe.
Well, we have to hype it up, otherwise it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, you could hype.
Dude, I love having, it is nice to have a co-host because I don't know what I would say alone, and I like somebody with a little bit of personality.
You might know what you're going to say.
I can say something.
You can say a lot of things.
But I'm not going to say what it is.
Oh.
Here's number 2.
Ooh.
Next, feel the love.
You have to love the product you're selling. You have to have an emotional bond with it. It has to be oozing from every pore that this is the greatest product you have ever sold.
Do you know what? Besides the necessities, we really don't need shit. Besides food and water and a house over your head, what else do you need?
Lemonade.
Yeah, lemonade.
Well, those kids with the lemonade stands, they just have to love it.
Lemonade. Oh, man.
We start
I don't know.
this hour with breaking news.
Well, what else do you need? Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, dude, and you know what I was thinking about this? I'm drinking this coffee on a cold fall morning. Dude, there's no better time to drink coffee. You can't get the same kick out of coffee in Florida that you get out of here.
No.
I mean,
in fact, do they even have coffee in Florida?
Dude, if you can sell it, it's for sale. And in fact, here's number 3.
Hone that perfect pitch.
I'm currently in...
Don't dribble on. Capture your audience immediately. Communicate your vision for why the product belongs in their hands. That's the perfect pitch.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you all why you should be listening to the John and Rod podcast, because it is fantastic. You might enjoy it, you might hate it, but you will feel something. You have to love it, kids. You have to love it. Work with me.
Yes, and when we say kids, we're talking about, no one under 21 to listen to the show, guys, because we do cover some, pretty adult
Parental
topics.
advisory, explicit lyrics.
And here's an explicit song as we speak. We groove here in Spoiler Alert. I mean, I am grooving right now in the studio. Oh, yeah. I got my coffee, cold morning. What do you think of the studio here, Rob?
I also want to say I want to go back to Linwood.
Yeah, I'm actually at Linwood right now.
Roll bounce, dog.
So, so what do you think of the studio setup here as far
It's
as
all right.
I got it? I mean, I'm it's decent.
It
You
works.
get to sit-
It works. I mean, we don't need an igloo. We don't need a solid space fortress. We're doing good.
May I tell you that you sort of get the star treatment here, man? Because you come in here, the mic's ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, but you've got the more comfortable chair, it looks like.
Do you want a comfortable chair?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, this chair, I need a chair that kind of slouches because I'm slouching. I need my computer up so I could just
Can't you bend that forward?
You know what? Next time I'm gonna raise this shit up and then I'm gonna put the mic here, so I will be in a reclined position next week.
I think you need a hammock hanging from the ceiling.
yeah. I just so I don't have to move.
Yeah,
That'd
just so
be
you can
great.
swing back and forth.
Okay, here's number 4, everybody.
4.
Fourth technique, be kind, not nice.
I don't trust nice people. All right? I don't believe that someone can be nice all the time. Every product has its merits and its downsides. Don't lie about a product as if there's no problems at all. Create that bond of trust. That's paramount.
Hey, everyone, this podcast is all right. See, we're being honest. We're not saying it's great. We're not saying it sucks.
And our listeners are falling asleep. No, so what?
Yeah, they're falling asleep because of Shark Tank.
Yeah, but
Mr. Wonderful.
Well, the thing about it is, can you? You're nice, but not. What did he say? Nice, but not too
It's
nice.
a kind, but
not nice. Yeah, dude. I believe it's the opposite. I try to be kind and nice.
Well, I think kind and nice are very similar.
Right.
It's like happy and joyful.
Dude, I'm in the sales business, and I can tell you that I try to befriend anyone that's coming in. I try to make small
Yeah,
talk.
but doesn't that weird out the other people? I'm just kidding.
No, it does. It does. People. That's what I'm saying. That's why people have interventions on my behalf because I try to say like, "Hey, how was your weekend?" People don't want to hear how their
My weekend is private, John. How dare you? And the lumber company know.
Dude, you know what's great when you ask somebody, "Hey, how was your weekend?" I'm like, "Well, I had 2 relatives die. Thank you."
It's
I've
life.
had
Sorry,
that.
it happens.
I know, dude, and I've had that happen, and I didn't know what to say.
Sorry?
Yeah, but if somebody asks you how was your weekend, just fake it. I mean, it's
To
probably
be honest, I'll tell you if I'm having a crappy day.
And that's fine. You should be able to handle it. But when you look at the person, you're glum. You didn't really smile. You didn't. Somebody's like, okay, I try to handle it.
Well, someone's like, hey, I just had a couple family members die. What are you doing at work then? You should be grieving. You should be sitting Shiva.
So, anyways, here's the last update.
The latest and greatest.
Be sticky, not gummy.
Gummy people just keep going after the sale and wasting everybody's time. You
Be
have to
fat,
make a
don't be
decision
obese.
Whether they're ultimately going to buy from you or not. As soon as you understand that they're not, don't waste your time. Cut them loose.
What are typical body language signs that, okay, they're definitely not
If
interested?
they step back from you, first, that's a negative. If they don't stop and you're chasing them as they're walking, that's not good either.
Do you know, I had a lot of people, I went onto the street and just asked people, hey, would you comment on Rod? Because,
Yes, please.
It's important,
Give me what I need.
Here it is.
Rod, yeah, his statements are confusing.
Rod, he's one of a kind.
Really didn't like what he said last
I'm
week.
sorry. I can't please them all.
And why not?
I just didn't like the way he said it, that's all.
Well, I don't like the way you said
Rod's
that.
my favorite podcaster ever.
Good, so that's like 3 good, 1 bad, right?
Yeah, but that guy was a jag, so you never know. I hope
And
that wasn't your father.
I had to ask, I had to use the same sales techniques that, Mr. Wonderful employed, I guess.
Yeah? Well, Mr. Wonderful is very strange because he'll be like, oh, well, be raining, but don't be drizzling. And it's like, well, be more concrete with your thoughts, Mr. Wonderful.
You have to simplify them for U.S. television, man. It's got to be simple shit.
Dude, Sticky and Gummy are so similar, I really don't see that big of a difference.
Well, there it is, everybody. That's pretty much the podcast. Rod, you have any closing comments?
We could work that.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Stick it in your ear.
Yeah, anyways, that lawnmower sound is hilarious.
Well, that's what happens when you're sitting here with the garage door open. On a beautiful autumn day in October.
Do you like seeing outside?
Yeah,
We
it's
could
great.
move it.
It's-
You
I know,
want
I
to
like
move
it.
it to my underground bunker? Or?
Your underground lair.
It's at the giant lair.
You know, John, where I want a podcast from is from one of those bubbles that you get into, those like flaming lips hamster wheels where you can walk around. You know what I'm talking about?
Dude, I need to be in a bubble because I'm afraid of hurting anything.
Yeah.
That's why I work on my car in a giant
But
vacuum.
That's too kind. You've got to be nice.
You know what I need to do? I need to be like, hey, yo, what do you want? That's what I need to do.
I think you need to cover a Simon and Garfunkel song. I think you need to be, are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, save of Mary and Pine.
Is this where the horror movie is supposed to be?
Kids, stay away from the camp.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to catch you next time. We
We'll see you
appreciate
later.
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you for listening. If you did listen. Oh, by the way, I wanted to bring something up.
We'll accept donations.
As you know, Rod, I'm going to be having another baby.
Yes.
Dude, there's not going to be any time to produce. I mean,
Probably
you know what
not.
I mean? So what am I going to do? I mean, what is the plan here?
I know you're going to have to do a lot of breastfeeding. You're going to have to a lot of carrying the baby. I don't know.
I cherish these times, man, because it's so few and far between. Dude, I put this podcast show first. That's what the
I don't know what to
problem
tell you.
is.
Don't have kids? I don't know.
I know, but I put the show first. I don't even do my responsibilities. I put the show on the thing. I was thinking at Halloween, because you're not going to want to come here in winter, are you?
It'll work.
You'll come here in the winter.
It's not like I'm traveling through dimensions. I literally make a straight line.
By the way,
left,
ladies,
right and left.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Rod comes in a new car every time. What is the deal?
I'm pimping. I'm rolling, dog.
Who? I mean, aren't you using the green truck? Is that your dad's truck?
No, it's my vehicle.
Then why? I mean,
because my parents are out of town and I didn't want to use my own gas. They left the keys for that, so I took it. I'm being honest.
Dude, that car you're driving, is that a Buick?
It's a Rendezvous.
Buick Rendezvous?
It's Chrysler, I believe.
Dude, that is such a nice car, man.
It's all right. I enjoy it.
Well, so you're going to be into doing this in the winter?
Yes. We could start a fire here. We could roast some marshmallows, drink some hot cocoa, and the beauty about that is we might hear a snowblower, but not a lawnmower.
Did you say a lawnmower?
Yeah.
So any closing thoughts, man? I mean, we covered a lot.
Jim Carrey, I hope you get over your grief, and I'm sure you'll find another girl in her 20s.
Yeah. He shouldn't date half his age, right?
Yeah, stick with,
Well, maybe half of his age is okay. I mean, if you're able to pull it, go for it. I say let it ride.
It's a little weird.
Maybe she was open to the whole thing. Maybe she was bummed out about it.
Of course she was. She no longer wasn't going to those premieres.
Yeah, you didn't take me to Mr. Popper's Penguins, too.
I didn't see my name in the credits for Dumb and Dumber 2. Thank you.
Rod, this is one long note, bro.
It is.
It's amazing that somebody got it on record.
Ooh, we're in the dentist's office now.
There you are.